Good morning. Welcome to the Sunflower News. Today is Friday, December 16th, 2016. This is Elena reporting the news. Emma will be with us shortly. It will be dreary today with a high of 40 degrees. We might see some snow over the weekend. The highs will be in the upper 20s. It's beginning to feel like Christmas. Chicken strips, hot roll, corn, pineapple orange cup, and milk will be served for lunch. Today is National Chocolate Covered Anything Day. If you love chocolate, then this is your day. Did you know that the earliest record of humans eating chocolate dates back to 1700 BC? Boy, are we glad someone discovered this treat. There are so many foods that taste even better when covered with chocolate. What's your favorite? Strawberries, bananas, marshmallows, donuts? Some people even drizzle chocolate over salad, even steak. I think that might taste pretty good. Think of the food that you don't like, but your parents tell you to eat it anyway. Maybe tonight you can drizzle some chocolate over it in honor of National Chocolate Covered Anything Day. Let us know how it goes. Kaylee Michael will be celebrating her birthday on Sunday. Have a great day, Kaylee. Now, let's listen to today's history lesson by Emma.
And now for a lesson in American history. It was another cold December night, December 16th to be exact. 3 British ships, the Dartmouth, the Eleanor, and the Beaver, were sitting in Boston Harbor. Their holds were full of tea. The tea wasn't being unloaded because the angry residents of Boston had threatened not to buy or use the tea. The anger was directed at the government of Great Britain, which at that time had passed the Tea Act, a law that almost guaranteed that the American colonists would buy tea from the East India Company. Why, you ask? The law lowered the price on tea that the East India Company sold. In fact, it was so low that it was the cheapest tea around. It was way below the price charged by other tea companies. Most American colonists looking for ways to cut costs and save money would choose a cheaper tea over a more expensive tea any day. Why did this law come about? Well, the East India Company wasn't doing so well, and the British government wanted to help the company get back on its feet. Other tea companies weren't happy about the Tea Act. The American colonists viewed it as an example of taxation without representation. In effect, the Tea Act was putting a tax on tea sold by companies other than the East India Company. As with the Stamp Act and other unpopular taxes, they were all voted in the Parliament, the British government, which was thousands of miles away, and the American colonists had no way to influence the laws or speak out against it while it's being debated in government. The colonists were angry. They wanted to do something else to let the British know how unhappy they were. So, a group of colonists called the Sons of Liberty had secret meetings at which they discussed how best to get their message across to Great Britain, that the American people want more of a role in governing themselves. Christmas was approaching in the year of 1773, and the colonists faced another year of unopposed and unrepresentative taxes. The Sons of Liberty, led by Samuel Adams and John Hancock, decided to take action. Wearing disguises that made them look like they were Native Americans, a large group of the Sons of Liberty, on December 16th, stormed above those 3 unsuspecting British ships and dumped 342 crates full of tea overboard. That was a lot of tea. The crates happened to be jam full of tea, and so the companies that made that tea lost a lot of money that night. Because the Sons of Liberty were disguised as Native Americans, they could claim that they were not guilty of dumping the tea. The British government knew better, of course, and grew angrier than ever at what it saw as Americans' ingratitude. The very next year saw the passage of what came to be called the Intolerable Acts, one of which closed the port of Boston entirely. The Boston Tea Party was a symbolic act, an example of how far Americans were willing to speak out for their freedom. 2 short years later, Americans were willing to give their lives for their freedom. As shots rang out on Lexington Green, the Revolutionary War began. And now you know, December 16th is an important date in American history.
What an interesting story. Thanks, Emma. Have a wonderful day and a fantastic weekend. Now, please stand and face the flag while we say the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart